This is MRN Out Loud, brought to you by Hercules Tires.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Woody Cain. Welcome to another edition of MRN Out Loud as we get set to open the playoffs at Darlington Raceway this coming weekend. On our program, Denny Hamlin will join us. He's a three-time Darlington winner. And then a little bit later on, our normal preview session with William Byron, both of them playoff drivers. And we're getting set to go to the track Too Tough to Tame this Sunday afternoon. But first, the playoffs of the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series have begun. There are only 3 races left in the season. 10 drivers are competing in the playoffs for the 2021 eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series Championship. The second round of the playoffs will be on Tuesday, September 14th at the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. Catch all the action and the iRacing Countdown to Green at enascar.com/live at 8:30 p.m. with the race starting on enascar.com at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday, September the 14th. Go to iracing.com for all the latest news, featured videos, and more information on the world of iRacing. This iRacing update is brought to you by Logitech G. Through design, engineering, and a love of driving games, the Logitech G923 takes racing simulation to another level. Logitech G, the official wheels and pedals for the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. Denny Hamlin is next.
Gamers, start your engines. Meet the next generation of racing wheels. The award-winning Logitech G design is re-engineered to dial into your game physics, delivering unprecedented realism. Feel every shift, drift, and hairpin turn like never before. Our latest innovation in force feedback technology connects directly to endgame simulation engines and physics to produce higher fidelity, real-time responses. Through design, engineering, and the love of driving games, Logitech G takes racing simulation to another level. Go to logitechg.com.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTires.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Denny Hamlin making his 15th playoff appearance, tied for first all time. That's an accomplishment in and of itself. But Denny, you're such a fan of other sports. I'm curious how you view the playoffs in NASCAR. Is it more a survive and advance type mode like the NCAA tournament? Or are you a guy who thinks, man, just let the other guys knock themselves out and don't get too far outside our box versus go for it?
It just kind of depends, and every driver and every team will be in a different situation. Our situation is I think that we can win any given week. So hopefully we rack up a lot of stage points and we, solidify our spot very early on in the playoffs of where we're at. If we can get wins, that's obviously going to last and advance us into further rounds. So, my situation, I think I just need to be smart and methodical with it because we have the speed to move on deep into the playoffs. We don't have to throw Hail Marys to keep moving on.
You've won the Southern 500. You're a 3-time Darlington winner. And I saw this stat that made me do a double take. Over half the races there, you finished in the top 5 of your races at Darlington. So what makes that a crown jewel type race? I mean, the guys who win there go on to win championships and go to the Hall of Fame and that type of thing. What makes that such a crown jewel?
Well, it's just a historic racetrack. It's a very tough racetrack, mentally, physically. It'll take its toll on you. So you have to be prepared in every single way. You're putting your car right up against danger by putting it on the wall. Each corner that you take. So it just takes a lot of concentration. And it's very, very tough because it's narrow, so it makes passing very difficult. So it's definitely a culmination of every difficult thing that a driver has to incur in the course of a race, and that's what makes it so tough and so fun.
What are your thoughts about the patch that they're repaving in Darlington? I remember Pocono, obviously it's apples and oranges, but at first you guys thought you'd be on it, then you thought you didn't want to be on it. What are your initial thoughts about seeing that chunk repaved at Darlington?
Yeah, I don't know what to think. I don't know exactly how I'm going to drive it. The great news is I'm going to be in the Xfinity Series this weekend to try to test it out, do my one annual Xfinity race per year. So, it'd be great for me to kind of get some reps there and see how you need to drive it versus, what we were racing there last year and or in earlier this year in the Cup Series. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, that track is very old and worn out in 3/4 of it, and now a quarter of it will have new pavement. So it's tough to say.
The first 3 races are all with the 750 package. There's also some guys who favor the 550 package. Do you feel like one versus another is better for you and your team?
We performed really good at both. I don't think one fits us better than the other. We adapt pretty well as a team to whatever circumstances or whatever package we might have for the racetrack. But as far as passing and stuff like that, I think the 750 was probably the best choice.
When we go to these other tracks, you finish this round with 2 short tracks, Richmond and Bristol. Last time you saw Bristol, there was dirt all over it. So how do you feel about the way this round finishes?
It's good. We've been very good on the short tracks this year. That's something that we really put a lot of emphasis on at Joe Gibbs Racing, is to get better on the shorter racetracks, simply because that's where we got our tails kicked in the Final Four last year. We didn't, by all metrics, we were beat before we got to the Final Four race in Phoenix. We did not, as a team, Joe Gibbs Racing, we were not at the top of our game on the short tracks last year. And so we put a lot of emphasis on getting better there on the short tracks. And then this year we've dominated Richmond and Martinsville. And so I think that we go there thinking we can win and hopefully stack up some points and move on.
Big news last week for 23XI with you guys announcing Kurt Busch will join the organization next year. Just give us a nutshell of why Kurt versus all the other guys who are out there.
He's a winner. He's established. He's a veteran. He's a great teammate. And he's coming into this program to help build it up.
I saw next week you're going to be in the next gen car for a big test at Daytona, and these will be team prepared cars and a bunch more guys at one time than we have seen before. How important is that test?
I don't know that it's going to be super crucial or important, but it will be to the teams. They need to get information for this next gen car. I mean, the Daytona 500 will be the first time we run it, so we've got to get that information. For me, anything I can learn on the drafting side will put me ahead of the game when we get there in February. So I'll take that, and it's the first time I'll be in the next gen car. So looking forward to seeing how that thing drives and what I can do with it.
You've touched on this briefly before, but how big of a game changer is this going to be for next year, both for you as a driver and as a team owner? Because several of the newer teams have mentioned next gen specifically as a reason for them to take the plunge.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's a reset in technology in the sense of, like, there's not a whole lot of data that we'll have that, past history that gives a team like, Hendrick or Joe Gibbs Racing an advantage going into a season, but again, we have to be realistic and say that, the Hendricks and the JGRs have more employees, so they have more people working on engineering this thing and figuring out how they can make it faster than the next guy. So, I'm still think that the cream's going to rise to the top no matter what.
All right, Denny, we appreciate your time and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Sir, are you aware you were going 40 miles an hour? This is a residential area.
Sure, but I'm on my lawnmower? Wait, am I getting a ticket?
No, I've just never seen anyone top 9 miles an hour on one of those bad boys. And mow their entire lawn in 30 seconds? What got into you?
Well, it did fuel up at Sunoco this morning.
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. We've been doing it for American racing for over 50 years. Fuel your best.
Darlington opens the playoffs, and heading there, you've been really fast at that track. What do you like about it?
I like Darlington's got a lot of character. I feel like you've really got to drive the car to its limit, but also kind of understand the grip and limit of your tires and not just exceed that every lap. You've got to really kind of stay in that limit, which is similar to any track, but I feel like Darlington, it's really magnified. And, you feel like you can move around. You feel like you can make your car do different things, which is nice. And anytime the drivers are challenged like they are at Darlington, I think it brings out the desire and the passion in all of us. So definitely a cool race if you can win it.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTires.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
That wraps up our playoff edition of MRN Out Loud. We want to thank Denny Hamlin and William Byron for joining us on the program. And check MRN.com for all the latest news, scheduling information, and anything you want to find out about in the world of racing. Until next week, I'm Woody Cain saying thanks for joining us.